guys print? Twice a week?
Yes.
Oh, okay. God, that hairpiece needs to be replaced. You okay if I just keep that rolling for my own?
Sure.
So I know what I'm saying?
No worries.
July 28th, 2015. Grand Falls, Windsor, status of Women's Central. The lighting's not too good in here. We're chatting with the advertiser.
My name's Kayla.
Kayla.
Kayla?
How are you?
How are you?
Doing great.
Okay. So you are a transgender, transsexual person.
Yeah.
So how did that whole transition happen for you in your life?
It first started out as mass confusion in the brain and not knowing what the heck was going on for so long. We're raised in a society that teaches you with blinders that there's only one right way to be, one right way to act. So the last thing I ever imagined was I was trans and that this would be part of my future until I went through many life experiences to the point where the clues were right in front of my face that I couldn't ignore them anymore. I was 33. A lot of trans people figure themselves out a lot earlier. So I took a big gulp and say, oh my goodness, this is what I need to do. Had to put together a project plan for making this transition happen. Some say you transition for your whole life. Some say it's a project that has a start and an end date. First you gotta know yourself, where you want to go with this, and then what resources you're going to need. You're going to have to tell people. It's not like being gay or lesbian where you can closet it, because you're going to be physically changing your look, your name, and in many trans people cases, changing hormones, having surgeries. So you're going to need access to health care. You're going to have certain conversations with your boss, even your landlord and your neighbors. And so I kind of did the opposite. I was in Toronto for so many years and said I need a better job because the healthcare system isn't going to pay for this stuff. Found a good job in Newfoundland, ironically enough. Figured I'd stay for a couple of years, then go back to Toronto, but I kind of liked it here. So I said, all right, let's give this a go. Newfoundland kind of needs someone to stand up and be the first openly out trans person. This was 2007, 2008. And I gave it a go. As predicted, I lost supposedly a safe and secure job. I had a tough time finding doctors willing to work with me. I had government legislation that wouldn't even recognize me as a human. But I fought hard, and I've survived and strived, and now you see dozens of trans people, at least in St. John's, getting together every month for support meetings, and I think it's so important. Trans people shouldn't have to leave and move away. If you live in Newfoundland, if you live in a smaller town, if it's Gander, if it's Grand Falls, if it's Springdale, if it's Joe Bat's Arm, come by chance, doesn't matter. You should be able to be yourself and live a good life and have access to all the resources you need.
So how does it feel for you to be an advocate here in Newfoundland?
It's kind of interesting in a way. Big fish in a small pond sometimes comes to mind, and I have a loud mouth, shall we say, but also being able to say I'm the Newfoundland trans person gets me attention in other parts of the country, because so often the trans voices you hear are coming out of Toronto, Ottawa, and Vancouver, and it's nice to bring different perspectives. Life especially in a rural environment, is very different than living in a city of 10 million people. And so I get a big warm welcome when I leave the province. It's like a rock star is traveling around. Locally in St. John's, it's just Jennifer causing trouble again. I think it's great that I can come out, and I've done events, probably 12 different little towns in the province of Newfoundland over the past few years for either Pride Week or Trans Day of Remembrance or Trans Day of Awareness. Everywhere from Carbonear, Harbour Grace, Springdale, and there's members of the community that are opening it and welcoming. It's not a huge step, but for a town council to say, yes, we're going to recognize that you people exist and we're going to raise your flag, that sets the tone for everyone else to follow. That's very important.
I can't think of many more.
Get enough out of that?
I do think we have a good amount of comments. Is there any other details about yourself you want to add, or any other comments about Advertiser?
Probably worth noting that I'm the first openly trans person to run in a federal election, which I will do, under the Strength in Democracy Party, strengthandemocracy.org. Other hats I wear, I think it's worth mentioning. As I was saying outside, I'm not just a trans person, I'm a person. And sports and music are two things I love in the two industries that still struggle with LGBT people. Athletes have to hide in the closet still. Supposedly there's only one out basketball player, one out football player. Come on. 10% of society is LGBT. Do the math. 5,000 people run the Tally 10. I wasn't the only one who was LGBT. Same thing in the music business. It's like huge news. Even still, in 2015, someone just comes out as gay, let alone trans. And I'm an athlete. I'm banging down those doors. I've had conversations with Athletics Canada, the Boston Marathon, and the World Out Games, and we're trying to make sports more accepting and open and inclusive, especially for trans people. There's all this question about hormones and sex and binary. There's a lot of people that don't identify as male or female. They're floating around in the middle somewhere, and we need to respect those people too and make sure that they can be accepted in the world too. And that's the bottom line.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I have most of what I need.
That should give you a nice article. I appreciate you guys coming out.
Yeah, no problem.
And we'll sign off.